Well, guess who's back on my channel? One of France's biggest superstars within the music industry. She's worth over 145 million because she has invested her money and time into some shrewd projects that pay dividends, and one of them being her music. Her art form on stage is unparalleled. It really is. Everybody today wants to be arty. They want to do something different, but she was way ahead of everybody, dancing, being creative, being artistic, and taking people on a journey about her sexuality and her battle to be known as the person she wanted to be known as. Some people say, well, who does she want to be known as? And I just say, Christine. That's it. Because it's for being articulate and tasteful and somebody relatable and somebody who's not alienated through her artistic endeavors to express herself lyrically and on stage to the point where people go, oh no, I can't have any more of this artist. Instead, they've embraced her. This is the reason why I love her. She's come back a couple of weeks ago with Cerrone, a DJ, and they've got together and they've produced a couple of songs. One of them is Catching Feelings, and I love the fact, because she's so expressional, she just loves to dance. That's what she's famous for. Way back, 10, 15, 20 years ago, she was dancing in videos. 20 years later, she's still doing the same. And I just love this particular track. You will love it too. Bit of background to Christine, because people are still catching up with this artist. Today we have a lot of mature artists in the music business, 15, 20 years, and here we go with a lot of young people now going, hey, I like this artist. Hey, she's pretty cool. It's happening everywhere. I mean, I used to talk about, an artist, a Latin artist called Laferte. And some people claim that she's Spanish, other people claim that she's Mexican, other people say, don't be saying this, don't be saying that. And there was a confusion about where her allegiance lie. And I always get rid of politics and I say, Mon Laferte is one of the most incredible Spanish singing artists I've ever heard. Check her out on YouTube, you'll agree. And then people now know of her. Just like Christine and the Queens, people know of this artist. It's wonderful. I've become, instead of being alienated with my musical tastes, people are relating to what I'm about and what this channel is about. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Particularly if you're from France, it would be great. And drop a comment about which track you particularly like of this particular artist. She is commercially known as Christine and the Queen and Queens, but born Heloise Adele Letizia. As Chris, she's a French singer, songwriter, and born and bred in Nantes. She began the piano at 4, discovered inspiration while studying in one of London's clubs, and published a series of extended plays between 2011 and 2013. Now, if we go on, Christine was placed first in Vanity Fair's 2016 of the most potent and influential French people who advance French brilliance. She does. Artistically, she's just brilliant. It's a great word to say. She really is. And she's surpassing the country's president as regards popularity. But I think at the time of 2016, this is before Macron, because Macron is alleged married to a trans who prefers not to say that she's a trans. And there's a whole load of controversy at the moment. So I think a way back, it would probably be the former president of France. Popularity, she was even more popular than them and more famous within France. It's said that she studied theatre at Lycée Clemenceau, at the Literature of Lycée Fenelon in Paris, and she later studied at the École Normale Supérieure de Lyon, Department of Arts at the Lyon Regional Conservatory of Drama. Why do I feel that's important to mention? Watch the video and find out. We'll come back and we'll have a little bit more about what this is about, because I'm really just going to fly through the lyrics. But following her electric team up at the Champions Parade. French disco legend Cerrone and contemporary pop powerhouse Christine and the Queens are back with a little mini EP, a few songs they've done together. This is one of them. They're dazzling. You know, they've got Supernature from the 70s, I think, and that was around an era that I remember that particular song not so well. I think my brother had it on record, the original. And from jaw-dropping performances, she's been described now as incredible vocal boldness, and her precision in delivering is immense. Incredible. Since she got together with Cerrone, people have just, a whole new wave of people have just fell in love with her. She says about this particular song, this isn't just a love song, it's an open invitation, a welcoming of emotion, desire and pure authenticity. Catching Feelings perfectly blends musical heritage, political spirit of disco with today's uninhibited language, free, tender and unashamed music and lyrics. There's a fantastic creative tension in the song, along with a sincerity and style that truly transcends above boxes. It's the kind of track that gets you grooving while also stirring something deeper inside. Let's see what you all think. Take a listen. I've got new headphones. Yes, and I'm looking forward to hearing them in supersonic HD. I'm getting more modern as I get more mature. There you go, everybody. Ooh.
Stop your plans.
questions and understand.
Don't you think she's just incredible? I think she's so innovative. She's untouched. I think musically, she's an inspiration, not just to a certain sector of the public, to a vast majority of musicians that want to be inspired. Her dancing is uniquely unique, and her theatrical performances are just sublime in catching and just engross you so much into the video. It's on a super natural high level that only she can attain. Trust me, I think she is phenomenal, as you can sense in my tone. I really enjoyed that, and a lot of people for a long time said, "Oh, Christine and the Queens is too serious about her journey, about, you know, going from A to B." I think she's having fun. Kylie Minogue is on Attention Tour. Because we've got pop queens everywhere appearing of a certain age group, mature ladies in the music business for years, suddenly getting recognition. And Kylie has bombed it all over the world since Padam Padam, and shattered world records when it comes to getting tickets sold and people going along and saying they absolutely adore her. Where has she been all their lives? These are the young people following her. People are starting to say the same about Christine and the Queens, simply because of that creativity that she has, and you've seen in that video. I'm awe-inspired by that person. Now, she talks about this particular, I want to finish up what I was saying in the interview, and I want to give out a shout to Thomas Bedwood from Broken Records, where I took this particular interview that he had with Christine and feedback, and I want to thank him for it, because sometimes it's very hard to get feedback on certain songs. So I'm just glad this duo is getting the feedback they deserve, because this collaboration is, as you've just heard, is amazing. The whole project, Thomas has found out, is a brilliant crossover between the enduring legacy of disco, he says, and a completely liberated take of desire and intimacy. It's more than just a tune. It's where an era meets a movement, he says. With lyrics like "Let me be your man, don't be afraid," catching feelings for me, it perfectly captures the raw, organic chemistry between groovy, dance floor, ready production and a message of honest, unfiltered emotion. It embodies a form of intimacy that's free, joyful and fully embraced, because that, everybody, for me, Christine, I've been following her for so long, is an artist that is now at the pinnacle of peace. She's got, look, so much money. Will she have enough time in her lifetime to spend it? She's been hugely educated in theatre and the arts to bring to life her creativity, which she's done phenomenally, and that's rewarded her music in the music career with her popularity. But when we get to personal investments and stuff that she's so shrewd about, she has amassed her own mini fortune to make sure that if anything backfires in her life, this journey that she's taken, she would have been okay. But what we've seen is Christine emerging as a happy person now. I'm seeing happiness here. I'm seeing, just like Kylie Minogue, oh my God, third time lucky for Kylie. Reborn, Padam Padam comes, boom. Kylie had a second rebirth when Can't Get You Out of My Head, and then it just was Kylie. But then she had a rebirth again with Padam Padam, but this time it went global to a wider audience. Same with Christine and her career. And I really wish her well on this intimate journey, that she will still continue to have musically and lyrically, but in a happier place and mood. And I think Cerrone's part of that collaboration. Oh, by the way, people wanted to know, I know when I was doing this, they said, can you just include, and I'm just going to try and bring it up. Have I got the lyrics? I have. It's questions. Thank you, Genius Lyrics, as always, for the lyrics for all of my songs that I produce. Produced you here. I wish I wouldn't be sitting here if I was producing. No, that I use on my channel. But they do ask who produced Catchy Feelings, and that was produced by Cerrone himself. When was it released? It was released in May of this year, 25. And then they asked, other questions was asked, who wrote it? And believe it or not, I thought, oh, it was written by Cerrone and a fellow called Brendan Riley. And I'll just give you a quick shout out to Brendan because it is a great song, and I hope to hear more of his collaborations, including Christine's voice. I'm doing another video on Christine and the Queens. She's included with a group I feel so underrated, everybody, but her voice on the track is just incredible. So whilst Brendan is whirling around there, I'm going to try, and I did a thumbnail for it actually, and I said, do I feature it, do I not? And this is it. This is the track that I want you to watch out for on my channel, because it's by Compromat, where Christine has put a voice to another collaboration with this group, and it's the song I Did Not Forget You. It's their official video featuring Christine and the Queens, and I can't not wait to feature that video on my channel. And I decided, instead of waiting, you know what, I'll do 2 today of Christine and the Queens. She is that good. Let's go to, it didn't come up. Isn't that just the darnest thing? Quickly through the lyrics. Is there anything I want to point out? You've been so lonely for so long, she opens up with flying solo, and that's wrong. I think it's a recognition. It's a self-biographical lyrics, these lyrics. And I think Brendan and Saroni really did sit down and say, this is what we're thinking of writing, this is what it's about. But there has definitely been input in these lyrics with talks with Christine and the Queens and her journey. So they've made the lyrics universally relatable. They've taken away from Christine and the Queens' influence, and I'm just going to call it Christine just for now. It makes it easier. And they've just said, because you're self-sufficient, don't need a man, too many dickheads messed up your plans. Now, dickheads is in English, so Brendan had the input there for that word, because it's very much English stroke Irish word for somebody who's just messing up and acting stupid and needs to grow up and face responsibilities in their lives. Because they can't, they're always just acting stupid for the sake of stupid. One of those people. It goes through that stage, opening up, you've been so lonely for so long, but I think that's a direct hit at Christine. It goes through the chorus, so don't be afraid of catching feelings for me. She's had that. Her transitional journey from going from womanhood to transhood to a genre that she steps outside those boxes. She doesn't like to be boxed, even sexually, and she's just created her own comfort zone. Is something that, when it says don't be afraid of catching feelings for me, she's really introspectively talking about herself there, I feel. Because there it says, take a chance, understand, I could be your man. So she comfortably falls back into the journey she's been on as a trans woman to become that man. But it hasn't always been comfortable. But she is telling people, if you're going to go on a kind of journey that I am, do take a chance. And she does it with expressionism, and she does it with, you know, the mask we see in the video, tied, almost choking her. That's her own feelings, that dark cloud that people get when they go on that journey, almost choking her. And because here it says, free your mind, open up, whoa. And she does, she has her hands tied in a sublime, metaphorical way there. It rushes through, open up your mind, I'm not afraid of catching feelings, your pulse is racing, your lips are wet. And that is in relation to people's response to her now in her comfort zone. People are starting to look at her, because she's happy, it's being portrayed, not just musically, physically, emotionally, and people are like, she is very attractive. I've always found Christine extremely beautiful. I have. I've always found her as an inwardly beautiful person. And, you know, I can relate to her journey of finding themselves. But I did it not sexually. I was always comfortable just being a gay man and not going on any wayward journey. And I didn't need to. I just felt comfortable being who I am, but more in a personal musical level. And this is my comfort zone. So whether it's work, whether it's personal, I can take inspiration from these lyrics, because it does say, and I took a chance with this channel, giving up a pensionable job, and everybody laughed at me. 6 years later, in my comfort zone, after a nice break of thinking, what am I Do I really want to do this for the future? I'm back saying I do. Because the outro says here, take a chance. I take a chance, understand. That's what I had to do on my holiday. Understand me, take a chance. Come back and say, I will. I'll continue taking a chance being here, translating lyrics for you, and hopefully you'll comment, like, and subscribe, and continue that journey with me. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.